Hello, 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 everybody. I'm back from a special session. I would have done it earlier, but I had an emergency. I had to take someone to the hospital to ER. So that's why this is late. But we are back. Everything's good. And so I'm jumping on to complete out the free readings that I did not get to in this morning session. So we're going to jump into that. And I'll be back on Friday morning for the next sessions. If you want a reading in between now and then, I do have half off all of my personal readings, recorded personal readings. All that information's in the description box of the video. So if you want to look into any of that, that's where you can find that. All right, so let's get into this. And at the end of this, I will, in the comments, I'll pin a comment in the order of how all the readings went so you can find your name and kind of see where in the videos you are and kind of gauge it that way. All right, so let's get into it. So, Divine Feminine Chronicles, you were the one that we left off with in the, you were actually next anyway, in the free readings, and you were looking for a love reading. So, let's take a look here, see what Spirit wants you to know about love, love, love. So, let's take a look here. All right. So I like this energy that's coming forward here because you've got kind of like a two-step kind of love that's coming your way. You're starting off with the Three of Water, the Three of Cups, which represents like a group of small friends, like, like two best buds, two besties that you hang around with. And they are how they say friends are in your life forever, sometimes boyfriends, girlfriends in your life for a short period of time. So these are individuals that you either have in your life or you will be meeting them in your life. But the love that you have between each other of this three peas in a pod is going to another level. And that's what, comes in first. Then you have the 10 of Earth, the 10 of Pentacles, which normally means they'll usually have a couple on there with a child and dogs and ancestors and the palace and the pentacles, which shows the fullness of life, which is one of the cards for me that represents relationship, a loving, long-lasting relationship that's coming in your way, coming towards you. So I love it. I didn't even see those are ladybugs in the pentacles there. So you definitely have this beautiful luck with the ladybugs coming in, and so but the important thing is like you're spending time living your passion, doing things you love with your friends, and in doing that, that's where you meet this other person because they love doing what you friends and love to do too, and so it's something that you have in common. You have this commonality, excuse me, with each other. And that's where the spark happens. And I like it because these friends are with you when you meet the person and they pass the immediate test with them. So it would be something like your car's broke down, not your car's broke down, or like you're at an event and the car won't start, and someone's like, "Hey, can I help you?" and do this and da 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 da, and and they're just like, your friends are like, wow, they're impressed by how they handle things, and it's like they immediately get like immediate approval from your little group of friends. So I like that for you, and that's what they have for you. So if you don't have this group of friends yet, then that comes first, and then this relationship, and that's what they have. Divine Feminine Chronicles. So many blessings to you. And then Pinky, you are up next and you wanted a love reading. So let's take a look here and see what does Spirit want you to know about love, love, love. All right. Wow, you got this new beginning coming in here, this new adventure that's starting. You do have the Ace of Air, the Ace of Swords, which is about new communication that's coming here, and I like that. And so you are going to have contact with someone new, a new love that's coming your way. And it is someone who's different. The Ace of Swords is also about new ideas, new clarity about who you really want to be with, not who you think you're supposed to should. It's a higher connection and your understanding. Yeah, this is what everyone's told me, but this is what I want. And I like this because the Fool card is this adventure with a whole lot of expectations around it. It's the first card in the major arcana, following the World card, which is ending of old cycles, beginning of a new adventure. And this is all this coming in here. This Ace of Swords also allows you to cut away those thoughts, those beliefs, those mindsets that are rooted in fear, and that long list of who someone is supposed to be, who you're supposed to be, how the relationship starts, how it's supposed to go, where it's supposed to end up, all these rules that just suck the life out of a relationship. Well, the Ace of Swords cuts those away, and the Fool card is basically this adventure without all of these restrictions. So I like this for you. Um, while you're waiting for this contact to happen, just look at what thoughts and beliefs and mindsets are in here that you can let go of. It's like, this isn't what I want. This is what everyone's told me I should want. And that clarity helps speeds things up and brings them to you. So that's what they have for you, Pinky. So many blessings to you. And then Jean XO, you are up next. Hello, hello. And you say you want to ask what G's feelings are, intentions, and next actions towards you. And you'd like to see the underlying energy. All right. We'll take a look here and see what we got going on here. Okay. So this one is feelings and intentions and next actions. All right. Sorry. Itchy itch. All right. So you've got the feelings they have here. I feel like they're, not much of a feeler, but more of a thinker at this stage anyway. Knight of Air, movement of thought and belief and mindset. So their ideas and their thinking around you is evolving and changing. That comes in here. And when I asked for their intentions, I got the Judgment card, which is normally an angel calling the human to a higher place. So they've got this higher intentions, which I like. So they're not, human based so much. It's more higher intentions instead of lower, lower vibrational. The next actions, you got more movement of thought and belief and mindset. I'm sorry, the Six of Pentacles. I thought it was the Six of Swords, but it is a movement on the earth. The sixes are movement cards, and the Six of Pentacles is movement in the outside world. And this is the balancing that comes in here of giving and receiving. There is that does Six of Pentacles tells me there's a little bit of work that can be done in the relationship of out of balance giving and receiving. There's this, equal type of energy that needs to be there, but it feels like both of you might have a little bit of a tendency to I need to give so much to deserve so little. And there's this balancing that's happening. I feel like the next actions that are happening right now have to do with that piece, because when we have an out of balance, like we have to give 1,000 love coins before we deserve one, our inner child who's ruling over all that is putting up these force fields, and you can't get through. They can't get to you, you can't get to them until those force fields drop. I have a Take 10 with Zen episode. It's one of my series in my playlist at the very top on my main page. And episode 5, I think, is talks about the Six of Pentacles, what you can do to help bring down your barrier. They still need to do it on their end, but the next action that needs to happen is both of you need to bring down that barrier so you can get to one another. Um, the energy on the bottom is the Empress, so there is new birth, harvest, Mother Nature, Mother Nurture, though, and that's where that nurturing needs to happen first before we have Magician and movement. All that has to happen first underneath the surface. So that's what they have for you, Gene XO. you know, which is good because you don't want to do what you've always did and get what you always got. Because when we are givers in codependent relationships, we're the enablers. We give until we're exhausted, and then we give more until we're resentful, and we won't let them give to us, and so they end up giving to work, friends, hobbies, affairs, or whatever. We had enough of that. We want something higher, and so it's worth the wait for this. All right. And that's what they have for you, Gene. So many blessings to you. And then new love, you are up next, and you want to know where would be best with the bee in the attic or third floor. In the reading before, I said A and her companion would go up there, and time's running out. All right, well, let's take a look here. I feel like they were saying that there's a third option, but let's take a look here. Maybe that was the third floor option, right? Yeah. So we've got 8 of fire, which is passion, a lot of movement of passion. 5 of fire, which is transformation of energies. 8 minus 5 equals 3. So, and I feel like when you asked before, they had also said, well, isn't there another option? Because you said, have it downstairs or up in the attic. What's there's no other option. And I feel like third floor sounds right because they said there is a third option, and the third option is the third floor, by what I'm seeing. So that is what they have. Third floor is good. All right. And that's what they have for you, new love. So many blessings to you. And then Anya Ahuya, you want to know, will you attain that position next year? So let's take a look here and see, will you obtain your position next year? Let's see what they have here. Oh, all right. Well, we've got so the Empress came, I put it in there, came back out. You have the new birthing. So this is saying, yes, that there is this birthing that happens next year. You've got the 2 of water, the 2 of cups, and it has to do with emotional choice too. You could, based on where you're putting your emotional energy and what you're putting out there, the birthing could happen even sooner than later. And the time frame of next year has to do with your emotional choice. When we focus on our fears, we draw in the things we fear, right? Like, oh, I fear I won't get it or I get delays. Well, I draw that in. Focusing on gratitude and happiness and joy, that energy draws in more things to be grateful for. So the more you raise that vibration and make that your main focus, then it draws in sooner. You got balancing of the head and the heart with the King of Cups and the transformation of passion and energy too. So it's all about balancing emotion, mind, and your intentions next year. And even now, starting now, can draw it in where it happens really, really early at the beginning of the year rather than like in December of 2024. So I like this energy that's coming in, but it's remembering I'm the one that puts out energy. Mental, my thoughts, the stories I'm putting, I'm drawing energy, the emotions I'm choosing, the intentions I'm putting out, and the physical actions I take all put energy out into my world. And whatever I'm doing is what I'm drawing. So if I'm focusing on what I hate, what I feel is missing, what I fear will come in or out, I am amplifying that and drawing those things to me and making them bigger. Instead of, if I focus on gratitude and all those other things, I draw on something at that higher vibrational level. So that is what they have for you, Anya. So many blessings to you. And then Daisy is up next. Daisy, Daisy. And you want to know, what does Spirit want you to know about the next 3 weeks? It's the final semester stretch already. Wow. Zoom, zoom, zoom. And you're tired. I don't blame you. Let's take a look here. What does Spirit want you to know about these next 3 weeks? I like it. They're like, you got 2 major arcana: temperance, balance. Temper yourself, just take it a day at a time, a moment at a time. Watch your emotions, right? We always talk about when we focus on fears, we're out of our minds. When we focus on unconditional love, then we're in this beautiful balance, right? The strength card shows you have the strength and the courage to get through it. Just, you have this, your human can connect with your higher self. And this is where, don't forget to ask them for assistance. They're around you all the time. And whatever you can do to remain calm and centered as you go through this, just knowing you have all the strength, all the courage you need to get through these 3 weeks, but enjoy each moment. The tempering is alchemy, the cup going back and forth and taking the time to get there. So, deep breaths, enjoy the moment, even taking a test, enjoy the moment. Don't freak out or try to get to the end. Just enjoy each question as you're filling it out. And, you know, as you're studying, enjoy it because it's a beautiful time in your life. So, definitely, that's what Spirit has for you. All right, Daisy. So many blessings to you. And then Bhumika Ranjit Batra, thank you for your question here. Does your husband want to give any messages to your daughter Anya? Let's take a look here. And did I have any? I don't think I have any spirit ones over here. So they'll have it come through the tarot here and see what message does your husband have for your daughter. I like this. The 3 of Pentacles coming up here, the 3 of Earth. The message they have is for them to be true to their authentic self, not to try to please everybody. I know it's like, wait a minute, except for mom. No, I'm just kidding. It's like you're you're the only one she needs to please. I'm just kidding. Even you, mom, I know, but to her to be true to her authentic self, that through praise and punishment, there's a lot of fears that come in of trying to tell someone who they are, but they're encouraging her to be true to her authentic self. They know everything about them, every emotion, every choice, everything that's happened to them their entire life, all the way back to in the womb, everything they've been able to go back and experience it all and their future. They'll keep that because they want it to be a surprise. But just knowing that they know every emotion, every thought, why they made every decision they had, every experience they've had, and they want them to be true to that authentic them. The Hermit card too is not to be afraid to, step away from things, be alone, and that we are here. They and a whole host of beings, right, are there. And whenever she's troubled, whenever she needs advice or just needs to connect to him, he can step away and connect because they are available for them. A whole host of beings of love and light, of love, other loved ones on the other side, ancestors, guardian angels, spirit guides, other angels. They have a whole host of support, and they're not alone. And if they ever, want to talk, they they're very worthy to ask for assistance from the spirit realm, and they're very happy to provide answers and signs and synchronicities because they are never, ever, ever, ever alone. They always have a host of invisible beings of unconditional love and light around them. And that's what's coming through, Bhumika. So many blessings to you. And then Mia, you are up next, and you have an unfinished PhD. The deadline for submission is over, and you're actually stuck. If you finish writing your PhD, is there a chance of you getting a PhD degree in the coming months? Let's take a look here and see what Spirit says here. Oh, so you have one card here. You have the 5 of fire, the 5 of wands, which is a transformation of energies. And I the transformation of energy is if we focus on our fears, we draw that in. If we focus on gratitude, then that's when the energy changes too. And what this tells me here, and they want to see the bottom of the deck too. Yeah, the Queen of Fire. So you can step into your power, and whatever you invest your energy is what expands and makes things possible, right? So I feel like if you do like a gratitude journal and you're just like, I am grateful for things flowing for my highest experience, and then reach out to whoever you need to reach out to. And with this attitude, with this positive, gratitude mind, gratitude emotions, gratitude intention, and see it in your eyes, see you being able to do it and able to submit it and talk to someone and just say, this is what happened. This is why I wasn't able to get it in. Is there any ways can I talk to someone? Can we put it before a board or something to see if they'll make an exception and allow you to do it? And then go with the flow with that because there is definitely possibilities for it, but it has to do with what's for your highest good and gratitude for it all. Definitely, it it's like it can't hurt but go about it with seeing it and feeling it and imagining it of them going, yeah, you know what, we can do this. If there's a hardship form you just need to fill out of what was happening, and we'll submit that, and it can get reviewed, and there's a possibility it can be accepted. You're like, great. So go and talk to whoever it is you need to talk to. If it's a professor or someone in admission or whoever it is, do all that and then go talk to them. And that's what they have for you, Mia. So many blessings to you, Doc. All right. And then Zarissa Goal, you are up next. Will you clear your CSS Special 2023? Let's take a look here and see what they have here for you. Oop, none of those. Pardon me. All right. I like this because you've got the ace of air and you're like, you're going to ace it, So that's a positive thing here. You do with the queen of air who balances heart and mind, and the ace of air, which is all about higher education and mind. Very positive energies here. You have the capacity, you have the intelligence. The important thing is balancing the heart and the mind, because if the heart starts generating fear emotion, what happens to the mind? Well, it knocks out our intelligence. The little inner child, when it gets scared, it will bump the intelligent connection to our brain because it doesn't want us to think. It just wants us to react, wants us to fight or to flee. So the important thing is to access the brilliant mind that you have, is to remain calm, to balance your heart and your mind. Breathing exercises, anything you can do to relax. Any fears that you have that keep bubbling up, look at them, and then you can transform them where they stop coming up, where you can have full access to your brain, and then you do very well. So I like it. That's what the message they have for you, Zarissa. So many blessings to you. And then Spiritual Journey Tarot, you are up next. Excuse me. And you say, will Parkland Hospital still be reaching out to offer you the job? It's been a while for the wait. Let's take a look here. Well, you get one card that comes out, which is the Chariot, movement and victory that come in here. So you're going to be getting movement on here. I just feel like there's been some things that have been happening with the hospital. I don't know. For some reason, they're bringing in I know various medical groups have been having some um, what do they call them, strikes and stuff. It just feels like there's been a delay in hiring because some stuff happened that kind of brought everything to a halt. But things are starting to flow. So I do feel like sooner than later, you are going to get notification of the acceptance of that. You have the victory card that's coming in. It's a power of choice card too, which is this we get to choose what anything means for our mind, our emotions, our energy, and our physical actions. So how we can speed things up is, if we focus our on lower vibrational energies, like something's missing, or we hate something, or we fear something will come in or not come in, or leave our life or not leave our life, then we grow that stuff. But when we start focusing on gratitude, 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 unconditional love, joy, peace, when we focus on those things, then that draws in things sooner as well. So that's a nice little tool that you can use to help things move faster there for you. All right. And that's what they have for you, Spiritual Journey Tarot. And up next, we've got Yep, I Know. I love your screen name. That's funny. I like that. Let's see. And I think this one already did. Yeah, let me get rid of that. So we've got just a handful left, and hopefully I grabbed everyone. I went through the chat, and so if I missed anyone, my deepest apologies. I will be back on Friday, but I think I got through everyone, but we'll see. So, yep, I know you want to know. Your question is, what is next for you? So, what does Spirit want you to know about what is next? All right. Well, I like this because you've got the Ace of Air and the Four of Air. And the Four of Swords normally has someone sleeping on the Ace of Swords. And so both of this energy is peace of mind that is coming here. And it comes in here because you're connecting to capital T truths of the higher realm, which are allowing you to cut away some thoughts and beliefs and mindsets about life. And it can be any area of your life, but you're realizing a lot of these truths, small T truths that were rooted in fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of losing conditional love. This is the stuff that's been like blocking you from moving forward and keeping abundance out of your life here. But you've got the Elder of Earth, the King of Pentacles, which does show you're having through this process a change of how you're relating your worth to the outside world. And you're finding this inward and upward connection to that higher truth, which becomes a solid foundation of who you are. And this brings in this abundant feeling in the outside world because you're transforming what everything means. And part of what transforms are these beliefs about lack and about abandonment and not being good enough and being left behind. And you're changing from the inside out. And so your outside world is transforming before your eyes as your thoughts and beliefs are transforming, connecting to higher things. You're starting to see the world in a different way too. So there is this transformation, this, um, just transformation of your outside world because of this looking and connecting to those higher truths. It's all connected to eternal, unconditional love. All right. And that's what they have for you. Yep, I know. And you're like, yeah, I knew that. You're funny. All right. And then Melissa Hadzik, you are up next. Hello, hun. So you said you just want to know if your friend conveyed your greetings to D. Was he happy about it if he got the news that I was in his neighborhood that day? All right, let's take a look here. So, were they told and were they happy? Well, I feel like they're as far as were they told, I feel like there was miscommunication here. Five of air, five of swords. I just feel like there was interference in the communication of that. So I don't think they got the greetings that it didn't go in the way that you had wanted it to be communicated. It's almost like someone instead of saying, "Hey, they said hi to da," they're like, "Oh, you won't believe how I ran into." And they're like, "Yeah, but I wanted you to tell them I said, 'Hey,' because I wanted them to know." And I feel like they were just like, "Oh, you won't believe." And it didn't come through the way you wanted it to. Had they done that though, because I feel like you really want to know, they would have. The Empress would have been its birthing harvest. They would have really been comforted by it because they do have here, Mother Nature, Mother Nurture, and I feel like that's your personality. You have this warmth that follows you, this huge heart, and you glow. It's almost like someone who's pregnant. They just have this glow. You have this glow without being pregnant, and they love that. And you do bring joy where you go. So they would have. But whoever this friend was that you wanted to convey it, you should know better. Yeah, that's funny. Your spirit guides go, it's like they're showing me, if you're a Harry Potter fan, it's the Weasleys. Their owl would like the one that would fly and fly and hit a window. That's the owl that you sent to send your message. That's hilarious. Anyway, but that's what they have. They would have been happy. They were happy to hear you were there, and they would have been really stoked to hear that you had sent greetings for them. But they were just more in I feel like there was a lot of activity when your friend went to go tell him, and that's all they got out was, "Hey, you won't believe who was in our neighborhood, blah, blah, blah." And then someone's like, "Hey, blah, blah, blah," and they're like, "What?" And they got drawn over there, and then they got drawn somewhere, and they never got back to communicate it. It's that type of thing. Wasn't intentional, it's just not that they're I don't know, what flighty? Is this friend flighty? I don't know. Flighty Heidi, I don't know. But anyway, that's what they have for you. So many blessings to you, Melissa. And then Arcana Rao. You want to know, does Srinivas, do they truly love you? Let's take a look here. All right. You know, they've got this, passion, this 8 of fire, a lot of passion, a lot of movement, Ace of Cups, new love. And so, I don't feel, and I feel like we pulled cards on them because I feel like they are moving into a different direction. And I just feel like they're like this 8 of fire, which is like a forest fire or a grass fire. They just move and move and move on to the next thing, onto the next thing, on the next thing. They don't go backwards, and they don't have a whole lot of self-love for themselves. This Ace of Cups tells me that too, that they're on this journey trying to find their self-love, but they're trying to do it out there, which when you don't have love for yourself, you can't love anyone out there, nor receive love back because you can't love someone more than the extent you love yourself, nor receive love more than to the extent you love yourself. So if you love yourself that much, which they love themselves very little, they even if they want to pour out a lot of love, it drips out. And then if one wants to pour a whole lot of love in, it just drips in. And so they're in this part of their life where they're consuming, they're looking for love all out here, and they go from relationship to relationship, person to person, looking for love, love for love, for love, for love, for love. And it hasn't dawned on them that they're the common denominator in all those things is that I'm not getting fulfillment. Well, because they need to turn inward and upward to fill up. So they don't truly love themselves, so they can't truly love anyone else. So it's not you specifically, they just are a forest fire. They burn and burn and burn, and there's nothing, no fuel for them to go backwards, so they have to continue moving forward until they turn inward and upward. I don't see it happen anytime soon. I feel like they are, you know, trying to fill up their life with so much love and so much stuff that it just hasn't dawned on them yet that by what's going on in the inside of them that is the reason why they don't feel love, right? So that's what's coming in there. And I know it's hard, but it's better to know and not get burned a second, third, fourth time from that forest fire, the grass fire that they are. So hang in there, my dear. All right. And then Mezzi BP, hello, hello. You want to know what is coming your way this week for you. So let's take a look here and see all right, what is coming this way for you. All right. Well, you've got an interesting combo coming in here. I know uh-oh. It's not bad. You got the 5 of fire, which is transformation of energy. It feels like the week starts off a little conflicting, but it through as you go throughout the week, the energy of the week transforms into something more kinder, more loving there. You have the 7 of earth, which represents things going really slow. Last thing that grows on the fruit tree is the fruit. So there is this slowness and this it kind of feels like things are not moving fast enough for you. But I also like the last card was the chariot, which does signal things starting to move up, things starting to change, movement starting to happen. But a big process, a big thing you learn when things are going slow is that you're the one that gets to choose what this event or these things that are happening in the outside world, what do they mean? You know, what do you want to how do you want to feel about it? What energy do you want to invest? What actions do you want to take? We're taught a lot of supposed to, shoulds, need tos, and all this, opinion about when this thing happens, this is what it's supposed to mean, but that doesn't mean that's what you get to choose it to mean. So you're in charge of the story. Yeah, you have recommendations, suggestions, pressure, fears. You better make it mean that. But you're like, it means this for me. And so there's a little bit of rebellion that happens in there, but you get to decide the story again with emotions. When this happens, this is how you're supposed to feel, but you're the one that gets to choose it, not them. You're not at the whim of events happening in the outside world where you're a puppet to events. Like, well, I'm afraid what happens next because if this happens, this is how I'm supposed to act and feel and blah, 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 blah. But when you realize I get to choose, it doesn't matter what comes next because I'm going to put the story, I'm going to put the motion, I'm going to choose what intentions and energy I put into it and what physical actions I'm going to take with it. So, a very empowering week for you, Mezzy BP. Even though it starts off kind of shaky, it's like, oh, it's an opportunity for you to go, well, that normally would really irritate me because I have fear about what that means, but I get to decide what it means, so it's not so bad after all. And I love the transformation of the energy that happens throughout the week. All right. And that is what they have for you. So many blessings to you. And then lastly, but not how do they say it? Last but not least, there you go. We have Magana. Hello, hello. So you want to know, what does SW think when you text him? Does he actually have any idea that you like him? His replies are very quick and his behavior has been leading you on. Ooh la la. All right, let's take a look here and see what we have here. All right. Yeah, yes and no. So when you text him, there is equal passion with the 6 of fire. He notices you. There's 3, like 3 wands on each side, which is equal passion. So there's this equal attraction between the 2 of you. And I feel like um he feels it, but the 5 of earth, the 5 of pentacles does have to do, it brings some noise into the communication because the 5 of earth is are these it's the abandonment, cards that feel like abandonment, being left behind, being left out in the cold, feelings of low self-worth. And I feel like they have a hard time accepting like that it is equal. Like I feel like they usually feel like they're the ones that always attracted to others and it's not reciprocated. And they it's like someone who will flirt and someone who shares stuff, but there's like not picking up what you're putting down completely. So I feel like they're enjoying the game of going back and forth, and they're getting braver and braver and braver. You might even see that in their text. Um, so you might have to just bite the bullet yourself and kind of just say, yeah, look past the fears, the 9 of swords, and just leap forward and go, hey, why don't we do this? Whether it's coffee or something, just say, hey, or if there's some free event or, some band playing or something that you guys talk about that you have a mutual interest, go, hey, do you want to go see this, art show? Or do you want to go see this? Blah, blah, whatever. Just put it out there. What do you got to lose? And I feel like that's what it takes for them to go, oh, 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 all right. Now I've really, all this stuff I really got to bring into focus and you know make that realization, admit it to myself, type of thing. I feel like it takes that for them, um, and for you guys to do that. And if not, it's always, what is our fear? What's the worst that could happen? They're like, oh no, I don't think of you in that way. And you're like, all right, now I know, and now you don't have to wonder and invest energy into that. I can just be friends with them. And then if I'm looking for romance, but X, not you, swipe to the left. And okay, what are these other individuals? What else is open? What did I learn about myself through it? Right? There's nothing to lose ever. All right. But that's what they have for you, Magana. And thank you so much. And thank you, everyone, for giving the video a thumbs up. It really does help out the channel. And if you're enjoying the free readings, that's something that you can do to help my channel as well. So thank you guys again for your patience in me getting to these free readings tonight. Um, Unforeseen things, but I'm glad that my friend is okay. It wasn't anything serious, so that's always good. Phew. All right, everyone. I'll see you when I see you. And of course, like I said, if you're looking for any past life readings or any type of personal readings, I do offer those. They're a half off now to the end of the year. And all that information is listed in the description box of the video down below. All right, everybody, until I see you again, just know that every second of every day of your life that you are unconditionally loved by the mother and the father of all things, our creator. And of course, I love you too. So until I see you again, much love. You hang in there, and we'll see you soon.